Yes, it's true. I'm freedom obsessed, or at least that's what I think. And I'm blaming this on being born in America. And as you probably know, the U.S. has this strong tradition of freedom, or so it seems. And I've been, I guess, indoctrinated. I'm going to say indoctrinated to believe how important freedom is. You have to totally into freedom. And like, I remember the 70s, back in during the bicentennial era. There was a lot of patriotism going on. And I think that really affected me. And certain Schoolhouse Rock videos also kind of affected me. Well, no, I don't say affected me. It kind of got me to the whole freedom movement thing, whole freedom movement thing too. Yeah, rocking and the rolling, swishing and the splashing over the horizon. What can it be? Looks like it's going to be a free country. Yep, I had to bring that up. Yep, and there's all this Cold War stuff kind of affected me too, though I was against it because the whole nuclear war, death and destruction thing scared me frackless, needless to say. And you know how they talk about how the Soviet Union, they're so evil because they don't have freedom, but America, we're better than they are because we have freedom. Yeah, I did appreciate the freedom part, but not the nuclear war part. And since that's the case, I've had this strong compulsion to control my own life, my own destiny. Even though they say that freedom of choice, is that the word I'm going to use? Free will, that's what I'm going to use. Free will is an illusion. It may be an illusion, but I'm going to ignore that for the moment and say that I want to control my own life, my own destiny. Of course, there's a problem with my freedom obsession, and it's the horrible irony that living in the United States, which is supposedly the freest country in the history of the world, I have to deal with fellow Americans who want to restrict my freedoms for some reason or other. Yep, the problem is, of course, that too many people keep telling me what to do, and I hate when people tell me what to do. I mean, if I'm in the freest country in the history of the world, I should be able to tell myself what to do. If you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to do what I do. It's that simple, but that's not good enough for a lot of people. That pisses me off, needless to say. And because I hate when people tell me what to do, my response to that is extremely hostile, to put it one way. It's like, if you tell me what to do, you're automatically my arch enemy. I will hate the frack out of you forever. And yet, ironically, no, not necessarily ironically, but let's say ironically, anyway, in a resource-based economy, having arch enemies would be rendered obsolete, or at least that's the impression. I'm not necessarily against the idea of people telling me what to do. If you have a legal justification for telling me what to do, I can understand it. And in some cases, I may not like it, but if you at least have a legal justification for telling me what to do, I can understand it. But instead, we have all these people thinking that they individually have the right to tell other people what to do, and then when it's reversed, they get all pissed off about it. And I might as well bring up some of these incidences that piss me off immensely when people tell me what to do, contradicting my whole freedom obsession motif, if you want to call it that. This was years ago. I think it was like possibly year 2000, 2001. I'm not sure, somewhere in that area. I was biking home from work in the snow. I was almost home, and then some crazy ass, bitch ass woman stuck her head out of a taxi screaming at me, "Get off that bike! Get off that bike!" 1,000,000% stupid. Yeah. I really wanted to smack the shit out of her, or more practically, I wanted to turn around and throw a bunch of snow at her stupid ass. Yeah, that would have been a better deal. And my freedom obsession also why I'm still a virgin, because in this backward pseudo society where people expect you to have sex 20 bajillion times a day, I'm constantly being told by this so-called society that you have to have sex, you have to have sex, you have to have sex. And because I want to have control of my own destiny, I'm going to do the opposite. Perhaps if we live in a world where people stop telling folks to have sex, I'd be having all kinds of sex now. Yeah, if you want me to have sex, tell me to stop doing it. Yep, that's how you do it. So yeah, that's a suggestion. And also, my freedom of session is also another reason why I don't want to go to certain countries. I mean, needless to say, I don't want to go to North Korea. I don't want to go to Afghanistan, not Pakistan either, and possibly Mexico. But anyway, some of these countries in the world, some of the countries in the world are very oppressive, at least from my point of view. Although I've heard that some people who live in these oppressive countries actually like it that way. Well, that's their choice, but I'm not going there. And also, my freedom obsession is a reason why I hate dogs, because when you are in the presence of a dog, you are required to modify your behavior for them. Dogs don't have to modify their behavior for you. If you don't modify your behavior for a dog, they will attack you. And that contradicts the whole freedom obsession, the whole freedom motive. And more to the point, dogs are supposed to be domesticated animals. That means they were bred to serve humanity. We weren't bred to serve them. They were bred to serve us. It's backwards when it's determined that we should do what the dogs want us to do, even though they're supposedly our pets and our domesticated assistants, or whatever you want to call them. That is extremely backwards. Can you imagine if dogs were not like that? If they just mind their own business, leave you alone? I'd be the biggest dog lover in the solar system. But instead, it's been decided we're going to make dogs wild and vicious and evil and have them control our lives and have them dominate us because, well, we think dogs are better than humans. And that pisses me off, and it's definitely a contradiction of freedom. And needless to say, or it might be better to say, as I've said before, these things, this anti-freedom stuff that I'm dealing with is one of numerous reasons why I want to go on a one-way mission to Mars and start a resource-based economy when I get there. And what does this say? Oh, yeah, of course. Needless to say, nobody's going to agree with me on my... A few people, or a lot of people, are not going to agree with what I've just said here about freedom obsession and how I think I should be the one to control my own life, my own destiny. Because for whatever reason, they think that they have the right to control my life and my own destiny. That's pissing me off. And with that being the case, I'm going to again say that I wish I could go on a one-way mission to Mars and start a resource-based economy when I get there. And once I'm on Mars, I don't have to deal with you dumbass fucks who want to tell me what to do. That's it. See you later, Ralph Nader.